Julius Randle MVP candidates. The rise of Julius Randle. From average to potential MVP. It is rarely seen in sports when an average player transforms himself into an extraordinary player. Usually, exceptional players are talented by birth. They are just waiting for the opportunity. That does not mean talented players do not struggle in a career, but the point is, it takes more guts and a positive mindset to turn yourself from ordinary to extraordinary. Who can be a better fit in this example than Julius Randle? His name is currently listed as one of the top 10 possible NBA MVP 2021 winners. Hey there. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are highlighting the career of Julius Randle. Stick around to know about his seamless journey, how he gradually improved himself, and most importantly, how he became a strong contender for MVP this season. Tragic debut. Players try to make a solid impression in their first season, but Julius could not do so. Just after 14 minutes into his official NBA debut, Randle's right tibia broke. Luckily, he underwent successful surgery to repair the fracture, but Randle was lost for the rest of his rookie season. It took almost a year to come back, but he could not play up to his standards right away. However, Randle slowly started to show what he could do. He had to deal with the struggles that most rookies go through in their first year. Even some Lakers fans didn't want Randle to play anymore for the team after his very rough start with the team. However, in his second season, Randle recorded his first triple-double with 13 points, 18 rebounds, and a career-high 10 assists in a 116-105 loss to the Denver Nuggets. This record has made him the youngest Lakers player with a triple-double since Magic Johnson, and by then it was clear his body was finally ready to go through the grind of an entire season. He was starting to prove his critics wrong. The Lakers gave up on him. During the 2016-17 season, Randle would record 3 more triple-doubles. He recorded 13 points, 18 rebounds, and 10 assists in a loss to the Dallas Mavericks on March 7, 2017. His next triple-double came against the Brooklyn Nets. Randle scored 17 points, grabbed 14 boards, and handed out 10 assists in the win. On January 3, 2017, Randle would record his third triple-double of the season with a win over the Memphis Grizzlies. He would finish the game with 19 points, 14 boards, and a career high at the time with 11 assists in the 116-102 win. Obviously, he was improving, but his role was inconsistent with his team, the Lakers, due to the addition of players like D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma. Randle was always treated like a complimentary piece, and when the time came to decide on his contract, the team decided to let him become an unrestricted free agent. Randle joined the Pelicans in the summer of 2018, despite the fact that there weren't many expectations placed on him. He eventually became a bright spot in what turned out to be a turbulent season. As the season progressed, it became clear that New Orleans would not be able to replicate its previous year's success, and problems began to emerge. They had to deal with the firing of GM Dell Demps and Anthony Davis's request for a trade. Despite his team's numerous problems, Randle managed to have the best season of his career. Even though he was far from becoming a star, he averaged career highs in points per game and on his three-point shooting percentage. It became clear that he could be more than just a sidekick. Randle was the only bright spot on a team where there was so much turmoil. Because of this, and with free agency coming up soon for him, he would make a move for a better fit. So, when free agency rolled around, he decided to leave the Pelicans and sign with the Knicks. After missing out on all the big names, the New York Knicks were desperate. The Pelicans had been pursuing Randle, despite the fact that the team made Randle its biggest acquisition of the 2019 offseason. They didn't make things simple for him before anyone noticed. New York also signed Taj Gibson, Bobby Portis, and Marcus Morris. As a result, the team had one of the most unbalanced rosters in the league, which was to be expected. The Knicks finished the season with one of the league's worst records. However, their overabundance of frontcourt players didn't help them. Julius, too, fell short of expectations. His first year in New York was not ideal. The team didn't need him to perform like a superstar. But, despite producing solid numbers, they expected him to become their offensive leader. His play on the court left much to be desired. He frequently made things difficult by taking ill-advised shots. When he should have passed out of double teams, he used spin moves that resulted in turnovers. When things didn't go his way, he would often complain to the refs, and he kept making the same mistakes over and over throughout the season. It was very clear things needed to change quickly. Role of Coach Tom Thibodeau. After his first season with the Knicks, it was difficult to find a Knicks fan who didn't want him traded away. Randle was a big reason the team was struggling, and if he kept playing like that, it was only a matter of time before he was forced to look for a new home. But they weren't about to give up on him so easily. In fact, the team began to search for a new head coach. The management decided to ask him what kind of coach he would like to have, and Randle told the Knicks team president Leon Rose that he wanted a coach that will challenge the team better. Tom Thibodeau was soon named as the Knicks' new head coach. Since then, Randle's playing style has changed. In fact, he started working on his body to get in the best shape of his life. Randle also maintained contact with Thibodeau to ensure that they were always on the same page. Most importantly, it took some time for him to reflect on his mistakes during his first year in New York. Randle also realized he needed to improve his leadership skills. He would have to set the standard for the rest of his teammates on both ends of the court so that once the season began, he could show the world the new and improved Randle, a more intelligent and better player capable of reading opposing defenses and reacting accordingly. What did he learn? As a result, he's been averaging a career-high 5.5 assists per game while also becoming one of the league's best passing men, but that was just the beginning. The extra time off allowed him to work on his previously unreliable jump shot, and the results couldn't have been better. Randle's performance in his 7th season is nothing short of remarkable. His hard work has helped him to become an all-around threat on offense and a valuable asset on defense, but most importantly, his improved leadership is shaping up to what could end up being the start of a new era for the Knicks. Julius Randle is having a monster season. He is now making more than 40% of his three-point attempts and more than 80% of his free throws, both career highs, but that's not good enough when you play for Thibodeau. When he's around, the first thing he'll expect from his team is their best defensive performance, and Randle has delivered on that part of his game so far. His defensive rating of 107.1 and rebounding average of 11.1 are both career highs, and that's part of the reason why the Knicks have become one of the league's best defensive teams after ranking in the bottom 10th of the year the previous year. In short, Randle's transformation wasn't a fluke. It happened because he put in the work necessary to fix the things he used to do wrong and improve on. Why does he deserve an MVP conversation? As you may know, the MVP award is given not to the best player but to the most valuable player. Julius Randle has changed the history of the Knicks as they were struggling for a couple of years. The best thing about Randle is that he has assisted his team in winning games. The Knicks have struggled to make the playoffs in 6 of the last 7 seasons, but things seem to be different this time. For the third time in the past 20 years, the team is over 500 when they entered the All-Star break. After 35 games, they still had a winning record. So who could be more valuable than him, but it's too early to say anything. However, it should be clear that he is a strong contender for MVP. Knicks picks problem. The $63 million deal between Randle and the New York Knicks is going to expire next season. If he continues to play better and better, it will attract more offers for him. That is good for Randle, but the Knicks have to pay him more as he emerged as a team leader. So it's a big challenge for them to keep him in it. However, Randle himself mentioned that he intends to remain with the Knicks in the long run. Some suggest the front office should be paying careful attention to any calls inquiring about Randle's availability. Of course, trading an all-star for young prospects or draft picks would be absurd at this point. The team is improving and at this point, the sky is the limit. Who knows, would they trade Julius Randle for Bradley Beal in exchange? It's the Knicks, so don't put it past them. In the past, the management has made some dubious moves. When it comes to acquiring star players or former all-stars, there's a chance they'll try something similar again, but given the decisions they've made since Leon took over, we believe things will be different. They've already decided to give several players a second chance, and the results seem to be very promising. Hey guys! What's your take on Julius Randle, and do you want to see him as the 2021 NBA MVP? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Until next time.